With us today is Marissa Ford with Wildlife in Focus. Tell us a little bit about some creatures. You know, we're all looking for something to do, a reason to get outdoors, although it's kind of hot outside. It doesn't matter what time of day you may get out there, but there are some interesting things that we can find just in our own neighborhoods, right?
Yes. If you get a chance to get outdoors, make sure you take some bug spray because you're going to need it with all the mosquitoes, but it's well worth the adventure that you might go and find. Take along a little bug box with you, and you can pick up a toad or a lizard or whatever, put it in here, take it home, examine it. But we never want to keep the animals that we find outside in the backyard because they're used to living outside, and if you keep them too long in something like this, they're not going to make it. So make sure you let them go.
Okay.
But these are always a fun thing to have on hand. But one of the things that I found very fun is actually going out to your parks or wildlife refuges, and you can get into a lot of the places for free, and you're going to get to see fun birds and animals. And then when you get home, there's also times that you can go out and you'll see skulls out in the wildlife. This happens to be a hawk.
Wow.
And you can see that here's the beak and its talon. And these are some interesting things that we pick up. Now, we're not asking you to pick up dead animals and take them home.
Yeah.
But you know, you can get to, if you can get a chance to go to places like Texas Sea Life, the botanical gardens and things like that, they actually have models of the skulls like this there as well. So, and then in your own backyard, now everybody thinks that they don't have snakes in their backyard, but I'd be willing to bet even people in the city have a snake in their backyard. And if you go around and look in your yard, you might find, let's hope it's not something this big, a skin where they shed.
Yes.
This is a rattlesnake skin, and it still has the rattle on it. Can you hear it shaking? So those are some fun things that you can find in your backyard. Not to mention all the cool, don't want to litter, bugs or insects that you can find and pick up. The other day I was walking, and unfortunately I couldn't keep him, but I brought home to my 4-year-old in this. I found a tarantula on the sidewalk. I scooped him up, put him inside, and brought him home and let my 4-year-old look at him. So it was a lot of fun. Now, a game that you might want to play if you happen to have one of our Wildlife in Focus books or any of our Critter for Kids cards is you can go through the book and you can find something that might be in the book that you could find in your backyard.
Yep.
You might be able to find one of these birds or spot them. There's plenty of places to go to. For example, Guth Park, they have turtles in their pond, and they're all over the place. You can see the geese and the ducks, or go out to Hazel Baysmore to out there. It's free, and you can watch the migration birds come in at certain times of the year. So these are all things that you can discover in your surroundings.
I love it. And I love the idea of going out and finding things, letting your kids observe them, especially having that little cage handy so that you can sort of see them in their little habitat for a minute. Of course, setting them free afterwards. But I love that you mentioned coming home and then looking through the Wildlife in Focus book and identifying what creatures you found, where they live, what they eat, and just making that an educational experience for the kids and making it fun and exciting to go back outdoors and look for these things as well.
Yes. So, you know, I figured why not do the little interview here in my backyard, because I find things all the time in my backyard, hence the snake skin and different things that I've picked up. I happen to also have, can you tell me what type of skull this might be?
Ooh, is it a whooping crane?
What?
A whooping crane?
No, it's a pelican.
A pelican.
See how so it's empty in the bottom? That's where the...
the little pouches? Cool.
And see, it has a hook on the thing to catch the fish on the end of the beak.
Very neat. Are these just things that you have at home, or is this from work?
These are from work, but we actually have a natural habitatter that goes out and will pick up the animals on her ranch, and she'll take them home and take care of them, to get the bones clean and all that stuff, and she brings them in. And this, can you tell me what type of this is?
I'm not sure.
This is a coyote.
Wow, look at those teeth.
Yep.
That is so cool and a little bit scary. It's very interesting. And you know, the fact that we have the beaches where you're going to find a very, very different group of animals and creatures versus what you'll find if you have a family ranch and you're able to go out there and explore, or things
Exactly.
on the south side of Corpus Christi versus downtown. There really is such a diverse wildlife here in the Coastal Bend, which is why we encourage you all to get more information on Wildlife in Focus. I know some people might be intrigued by the book that you held up. Where can we go for more information on how to get this book and how to get our kids a little more engaged in the learning part of this?
You can go to wildlifeinfocus.org, and on there you'll see a web link for Critters for Kids, and you can get on there to check out our Critters for Kids program. But if you would like to order one of our books, you can also get on wildlifeinfocus.org, and you'll be able to see where it is. And you can also see a bunch of the wonderful pictures that our photographers do from our photo contests. So if you're interested in just perusing our website and seeing what is out there, go ahead and feel free, because you'll see a ton of critters and animals from all over the Coastal Bend and South Texas.
Yes, it makes a great coffee table book and a great learning experience, more interactive for the children. Marissa, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We love Wildlife in Focus and everything it has to offer our community, especially that it's featuring local wildlife and local photographers.